All right. Excuse me, folks. Good morning. Few technical difficulties this morning. The charts. We should have the charts. We'll have some video after the break as we get things paired this morning, but we got positive territory to kick things off, folks. The S&Ps right now, positive by 5 points, trading at 36.93. We've had a little bit of a pullback, though. You zoom it in, we were up at about 3702. How about 3,700 in the S&Ps? We got the NQs up 17 points right now, 12,613, jumping over to the Dow, up 42 points. You're seeing, though, a little bit of a sell-off. We just got retail sales. I'll jump over to that in a moment. We got a lot of news today. We got retail sales falling 1.1% in November. Let's pull this over for your headline number. This is what's hitting the tape at 8:30 a.m. this morning. This is the reason why we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. We were looking for a decline of barely 0.3%. Retail sales down more than a full percent in November. This economy, it's getting hit, folks, and we're seeing the market pulling back a bit. S&P still positive by 6. Pretty remarkable, the strength this market has continually, no matter what it gets thrown at it in terms of fundamental bad news in the market. Retail sales down 1.1% for the month of November. Nonetheless, S&P is positive by 5 right now. Jumping around to commodities, gold contract, quite the acceleration. Yesterday, extended into the overnight to almost 1870. We've now pulled back to 1856 on gold. You got silver up 51 cents. Silver rocking and rolling. They're talking about silver in the den this morning. Silver's trading at 25.16 right now. Jumping around to notes and bonds. Lower price and higher yield, folks. Jumping over to the yield. I think we're approaching 0.94% for the yield on the 10-year. Yes, it is. 0.943%, approaching 0.95%. We'll see if we get to that 1% yield on the 10-year. Right now, we're negative 6 ticks at 137.21, and the 30-year's off 19 ticks at 172.10. We'll jump over to the volatility index, the VIX. Pretty calm action overnight, 22.62. All right, jumping around to some of the headlines. So we just got retail sales. Excuse me, you're seeing the market. Slight reaction to that. We also have Fed Day. We get an announcement at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Fed expected to keep the rates the same. And I'll pull up the article that I got up there. Fed mulls decision in bond buying program is the real aspect that people will be looking for here, as you have Chairman Powell with a press conference following the decision. Economists say the Fed may deliver fresh guidance on its asset purchases, now $120 billion a month, tying how long the buying will continue to substantial progress in meeting its goals of full employment and 2% inflation. That would be a stronger commitment than the existing pledge to maintain purchases over coming months. So watch for that area in terms of what they'll be looking for. All but certain, as they put it, to keep the overnight interest rate in a target range of 0 to 0.25%. So they're going to release a statement at 2. You got a press conference at 2:30. And with that, optimism on aid talks. It's the headline that repeats itself, folks, from before the election, from after the election. Nonetheless, again, optimism. You had a meeting yesterday. You have leaders from both parties negotiating the terms of the relief package. It looks like maybe, and we really don't know until it happens because this thing is falling apart many times on the same exact obstacles that are in front of both people in terms of liabilities, protections that Republicans want for corporations, businesses, and then on the other side, you have Democrats that want state aid. Seems like those two issues might be able to be shelved for the meantime. You're talking about maybe $900 billion was the number thrown around there. We may actually get some direct payments to people making a certain threshold of money. That's part of the reason why maybe you're seeing some inflationary tendencies. We have a little bit of weakness in the dollar this morning. Because the inflationary tendencies, I mean, people get those checks, direct stimulus payments to individuals, especially individuals only making a certain income. Those are the people that really need it. Those are the people that are going to spend it. That money is going to get spent ASAP, today, this week, through the new year, causing a little bit of inflationary tendencies. All right, so we got retail sales down 1.1%. We have the Fed coming out with a statement at 2, press conference at 2:30. Jumping around to what else we got going on. Pretty interesting here. First time history with a $1 trillion equity fund, Vanguard. How about it? Vanguard Group Equity Fund, first of its kind to eclipse $1 trillion in assets. Index-based investing, folks. If you know anybody in the market, all right, tell them about TFNN. That's the first thing. Tell them to tune in. But if they don't have the time or they just don't have the interest in managing their finances, maybe they just don't think they're up to the task, I tell people, for novice investors, you put some money in, whether it's, you're talking about the SPY. Now they have, what is it, the VOO, which is even smaller. Yeah, the Vanguard S&P, an even smaller fee is what you're dealing with there for a similar territory. When you're investing for 10, 20, 30 years, folks, if you're paying something like a Fidelity Wealth Management, they're taking a management fee of 1 to 1.5%. And all they're doing for that fee, and I say all they're doing because a lot of people don't understand how to do this. And for those people, if they have no access to this information, it might be worth it, okay? But if you have access just to know that, hey, I'm just going to put money in an ETF, okay, like the SPY or the VOO, because you start paying 1 to 1.5% over the tune of 20 to 30 years from management, the compounding of those percentages is astronomical on the amount of money that you end up with 20 or 30 years down the road. Now, here's the real kicker as well, is that most of the time, Fidelity, for instance, okay, because my mother, she is retired. She looked into Fidelity. I looked at it as well. Fidelity's got some great ETFs out there. Okay, the fees on their ETFs are pretty reasonable in terms of the market. But then they're charging you a Fidelity Wealth Management fee to manage your retirement, when really all they're doing is teaching you, listen, we're going to put 40% of your stock in this bucket, which is equities. We got ETFs here. We're going to put 20% of your stock in international equities. Here's your Fidelity ETF here. And then we're going to put 40% in bonds. They diversify you. In today's age, folks, you can diversify yourself with a little bit of work. With ETFs, it makes sense. And the compounding. I mean, if you're paying somebody for management, they better be trying to really outperform the market, in my opinion, if you're paying continual fees of assets under management beyond just like an ETF fee. If you're paying for actual wealth management, it better be more than just sticking $1 million that you have in a few buckets. Because if that's what they're doing and they're just saying, hey, we're going to put you in the Fidelity Growth Fund, we're going to put you in Fidelity Bond Fund, and we're going to put you in Fidelity International Equities Fund. Just be aware. It's what I've talked about. My own mom. That type of investment, it's a lot of money, especially if you're young coming into that, if you're using somebody like a Fidelity Wealth Management just to basically diversify you into a plethora of Fidelity funds. Vanguard, they know this. They're picking up the slack, $1 trillion equity fund as that whole business marches on. All right, folks, stay tuned. We get the S&Ps positive by 7. We're going to try and get these charts and the video back up at the break. Stay tuned.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Are you looking to buy or sell gold, silver, platinum, coins, or bullion? We can help. At Tiger Precious Metals and Stones, we specialize in the buying and selling of gold, silver, as well as collectible U.S. and foreign coins. We not only buy your unwanted or broken jewelry, but you can trade that in for gold and silver coins too. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245 for a quote over the phone and to lock in the current market price. Call us now at 727-329-8245.
TFNN has just launched our Tiger Dollar Holiday Sale. For a limited time, we've doubled all the Tiger Dollar bonuses, where you can now get up to a 20, 30, or even a 40% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase. Tiger Dollars are good for all TFNN newsletters, webinars, and services and never expire. Whether you're a current subscriber or just thinking of signing up for any TFNN products in the future, this is a great time to get your Tiger Dollars. Happy holidays from all of us at TFNN.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget,
Larry Pesavento watches the markets 24/7, and now is a great time to try out his daily trading service, Fibonacci 24/7. Larry publishes videos and charts for subscribers throughout the week when warranted, and every weekend he puts out a thorough report covering worldwide markets, futures, commodities, and currencies with Fibonacci retracement levels, possible trading setups and zones, and stops and targets for all recommendations included. Larry applies the principles he's developed over decades of trading while analyzing a variety of markets for subscribers. To see for yourself the types of videos, charts, and analysis that Larry provides for his subscribers, sign up for Fibonacci 24/7 today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. You'll also gain instant access to Larry's archived subscriber webinar from earlier this year. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. TFNN has developed a daily programming lineup for traders by traders. We start every trading day live at 8:30 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien hosting the morning market kickoff as he starts the day off by breaking down everything you need to know about what's going on for the trading day ahead. At 9 a.m., Larry Pesavento takes your calls and questions live on the air for the opening bell as he hosts Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom and Tommy O'Brien host the Bull Bear Trading Hour. At 11 a.m., it's Kevin Hinks and Alex Coffey from TD Ameritrade Network with Fast Market. Basil Chapman at noon with the Tiger Technicians Hour. Steve Rhodes hosts the Trader's Edge at 1 p.m. Dave White with the Power Trading Hour at 2 p.m. And Tom O'Brien closes out the day for the final hour of trading live from 3 till 4. Don't miss a second of our daily programming lineup. Tune in to Tiger TV every trading day live at TFNN.com. Educating investors.
don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We got S&Ps positive by 7 points right now. We should have video. We should have charts. We're ready to get into action. Let's get back into those retail sales. So the headline number was you saw a decrease of 1.1%, the Commerce Department said. When you look at the core number excluding automobiles, gasoline, building materials, and food services, Retail sales declined 0.5% last month. That's a core number they're looking at, downwardly revised from 0.1% dip in October. They correspond most closely with the consumer spending component of GDP, previously estimated to have edged up 0.1% in October. So a lot of numbers in there. Nonetheless, disappointing numbers when you look at the numbers that they were expecting. Over in the cannabis sector, you got a combination of two giants putting together. They will form the largest cannabis company in the world, potentially. Aphria and Tilray. Jump over to Tilray. They are a fan favorite out there. Look at that acceleration from 787 to 1057, 1004. All the cannabis stocks up actually today. Canopy pairing it a bit back to about 27, still positive by a quarter with the market. But that deal, the new company, it's going to keep Tilray's name, trade under their ticker symbol on the NASDAQ. Aphria shareholders get 62% of Tilray's stock. It's a reverse acquisition of Tilray. And then they get into here, and I believe you have the Tilray. Tilray CEO Brian Kennedy will become a board member of the company. Yeah, it is right. Aphria, I believe the Aphria. Yeah, so Aphria, excuse me for jumping around. Aphria CEO Erwin Simon, he's going to become the chairman and CEO of the combined group, and the Tilray CEO is going to be sitting on the board. They got a lot going on. That whole sector pretty much poised. You know what? One thing I want to get down to, look at this estimation. By 2025, they talk about potentially the U.S. Okay, so here are some numbers for the cannabis sector. The European market will grow to $359 million in 2020, up 25%. Still small numbers, right? When I said, wow, the EU, they're only at $360 million, 25%. But you're seeing legalization, regulations being changed everywhere in the globe. And then this is the one that jumped out at me. Let me highlight this one. The U.S. remains the biggest prize. However, with its widespread recreational usage, it's expected to represent 70% of the world's $93.8 billion market by 2025. Folks, 2020, we're about to be in 2021, and we're going to have a $100 billion legal cannabis market, of which the U.S., there's going to be $70 billion almost of annual revenue up for grabs by 2025. That's a big one, folks. So these stocks, keep them on your radar. They could have some serious action. I'm going to jump to Kohl's real quick. I was shopping around in Kohl's last night. I think last night was the last night that you could actually get delivery from Kohl's. You can still do pickup. I mean, this acceleration, folks, some of these equities, the reason why I've talked about, you may see a consolidation for a while, because look at the run that we just had. Let me put it back on a daily. You just went from $20 to 40 in Kohl's. You're back to pre-COVID levels. Kohl's was sitting at 44 in February. They go through hell, and you're back with everything going on. We just saw retail sales down 1.1%. But I tell you, my experience, they seem like they're positioned very well. The last earnings really delivered in a big way. That's where this acceleration began on November 16th, November 17th. There's your numbers. Keep that one on your radar, too. Quite the run, but a strong company in light of how they're coming out of this. But, man, quite the run they've already had from 20 to 40. All right, I'm going to jump around a bit. Some of the other articles out here. An opinion piece from Bloomberg out there, and I would agree. There's a lot of thought out there, folks, in the market and in the public in general that I don't understand. Folks, they talk about needing to vaccinate. You don't need to vaccinate anybody, but if you don't do it, we're going to be stuck in the reality that we find ourselves in today. Okay, to get out of this reality, depending who you ask, herd immunity, 50, 60, 70, 80% gets us even faster. We need a lot of people to take this vaccine. When you talk about 340, 330 million people in the U.S., I mean, even half of that, you're talking about 160 million people vaccinated if you hit 50%, okay? The point being, it's very easy for politicians, the president himself right now, to say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go to the back of the line, okay? We need our government to run. We've seen what happens when the government gets shut down. Things don't work. We need our government working right now. The amount of people in charge of these operations, they should get it first, because the impact of those people getting put out of commission and the people around them of how quickly this spreads getting put out of commission would have much greater impact than the 1 or 2 or 10 or even 1,000 shots to completely vaccinate our government. So I don't understand kind of some of the groupthink, but we need leadership right now to get out of this. I hope that these officials all get vaccinated. Trump, Pence, Biden, Harris, all of them, because we don't need any interruptions right now for the next few months. All right. Do I hear a break coming up? think we might have skipped that break to my producer. And I'll just jump to the next article. Coronavirus vaccine. You're going to see this happening, folks. People like to talk about, you can't tell me to take the vaccine. Folks, if you want to travel to an international company and they're going to, international country, all right, they're going to want people vaccinated before they just start letting international travelers in while this thing is still spreading, okay? If you want to go to a huge event, you don't have to get vaccinated, but if you want to participate in some of these, you just might have to. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.
Larry Pesavento watches the markets 24/7, and now is a great time to try out his daily trading service, Fibonacci 24/7. Larry publishes videos and charts for subscribers throughout the week when warranted, and every weekend he puts out a thorough report covering worldwide markets, futures, commodities, and currencies with Fibonacci retracement levels, possible trading setups and zones, and stops and targets for all recommendations included. Larry applies the principles he's developed over decades of trading while analyzing a variety of markets for subscribers. To see for yourself the types of videos, charts, and analysis that Larry provides for his subscribers, sign up for Fibonacci 24/7 today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. You'll also gain instant access to Larry's archived subscriber webinar from earlier this year. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. TFNN has developed a daily programming lineup for traders by traders. We start every trading day live at 8:30 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien hosting the morning market kickoff as he starts the day off by breaking down everything you need to know about what's going on for the trading day ahead. At 9 a.m., Larry Pesavento takes your calls and questions live on the air for the opening bell as he hosts Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom and Tommy O'Brien host the Bull Bear Trading Hour. At 11 a.m., it's Kevin Hinks and Alex Coffey from TD Ameritrade Network with Fast Market. Basil Chapman at noon with the Tiger Technicians Hour. Steve Rhodes hosts the Trader's Edge at 1 p.m. Dave White with the Power Trading Hour at 2 p.m. And Tom O'Brien closes out the day for the final hour of trading live from 3 till 4. Don't miss a second of our daily programming lineup. Tune in to Tiger TV every trading day live at TFNN.com. Educating investors.
This is TFNN, the Tiger Financial News Network.
Welcome back, folks. We got a few technical difficulties going on over there. Maybe those producers can get those radio logs set for Mr. Larry Pesavento coming up next. I'm going to jump to a couple stories I just wanted to get over. Great question in the den talking about, people getting COVID, they get the vaccines. We don't really know yet. We don't know how long those antibodies last. Dr. Fauci, he was out there saying that because of that, President Trump, he should get that vaccine. We don't know how long those antibodies last. They probably do provide some level of protection, but when you're talking about the president, you're talking about a vaccine. That's something they should get. So, we're in uncharted territory, folks. You're making the best estimated guesses you can make in terms of, yes, he might already be protected. The vaccine going through tens of thousands of people seems safe. And the president should protect himself so our government runs uninterrupted. So there you go. Tom Cruise, if you heard this one out there, folks, quite a mouthful for his crew. But guess what? Everything he said, if you get a chance, listen to it. Okay, he's the man on the set. He's the one responsible for thousands of jobs, and that's what he's telling people is they're not following social distancing protocols. And good for him, folks, because as he puts it, I'm sorry, I'm beyond your apologies, because they don't matter. You know, he says, quote unquote, you can tell it to the people losing their expletive homes because the industry shut down, okay? And I'm sorry, I'm beyond your apologies. I told you, and I want it now. Folks, you know, this stuff, he's a job creator out there, and you got to follow this stuff. If we follow some of this stuff, the economy opens back up, people get their jobs. It was actually great to see his frustration, okay, at the people not following that type of a deal to make sure his movie goes, that thousands of people keep working. It's a good deal. All right, folks, this is going to be an interesting market. With ESBs positive by 5, we got our man Larry Pesavento. He's going to be coming up next. And the market, maybe we just start waiting for 2 o'clock with the Fed, 2:30 with the Federal Reserve. Mr. Jerome Powell coming out with a press conference. Stay tuned, folks. We got Larry. He's coming up next. We got markets in positive territory. We got November retail sales down 1.1%, and we got the S&P potentially opening near a record high. Gotta love that market. Stay tuned, folks. Larry's coming up next.